Thank you for joining me for Takeaway Tuesday. My name is Tina Kovrigic, but don't worry about that. You just need to know Northern Stamper. If you have any questions, live in Canada, would like a new catalog, drop me an email at northernstamper@gmail.com. Today we're using the 10 Years of Growth Paper Pumpkin Kit. Now, this is a kit that is no longer available, but I wanted to show you those that had purchased with me this month's Takeaway Tuesdays. I had ordered this for you, so I wanted to let you know that I have, this is one of the ones we're going to be using. This is really a great kit. This one actually came with 2 stamps in it. I just love it. So what we're going to do is, the kit comes with instructions, but we are going to make cards that are beyond the instructions. Okay, we're going to make alternative cards with this kit. Now don't forget, what I've decided to do, every first Friday of every month, I'm going to have, it's called Down the Rabbit Hole with Paper Pumpkin. What happens is, when you order the Active Months Paper Pumpkin, we are going to be doing, on the first Friday of every month, I will show you how to make those cards plus alternatives with the kit that you get. If you have any questions, drop me an email at northernstamper@gmail.com. So give me a thumbs up if you are ready to roll, and we're going to get started with our kit at this time. So what we're going to be doing, there in the kit, there are a limited number of card bases, and what you're going to be doing is look for the card base that has the dots on it. Okay, this one does not have dots on it, so I have to use this one as an alternative, but there is one with really pretty gold dots on it, and I want you to grab that one. So we have that. There are some pieces that you can punch out, and you're going to need some of those from each of the pages. Okay, these are some of the ferns, and we're just going to take out the word happy. This is in gold. We're just going to pop this out. Now don't throw away the remaining parts of this sheet, because there are still areas that we can use a little bit on different cards. So there's a space there, there's some space down there, and we want to use all of the pieces that we can. So keep this. I keep it in a paper pumpkin box with alternatives, and at the end of the month, what I will do, or at the end of a couple of months, I will take them all and make alternative kits with what is left over. Alright, there is a sheet with some of these beautiful ferns in it. What we want to do is pop some of those out. I'm going to take out that pot that is pink, and this one that is purple. Why not? We're going to use them both. And I'm going to pop out the little fern pieces or leaf pieces, branch pieces, whatever you like, and use them also. So let's get going on that, popping them out. I'm being careful not to rip them. They come out fairly easily. And you just take your time on removing them from the page. Okay? Oh, this one's really thin. So just take a little bit of time removing them. The thinner they are, the more care you need to take so that you don't rip them apart. All right? So let's get those guys out. This one doesn't want to come out. Here we go. The last one is that little fern in there, and I do not want to rip any of those pieces, so I'm carefully just removing it on there. So, oh, there's one more piece. Let's take him just in case. Maybe we'll use him for something. Okay, in the kit, it is always wrapped in a beautiful tissue paper. This time it came in gold. And what we're going to do is we're going to be using some of this gold tissue paper that comes in, and you need a piece of like photocopy paper or anything like that. Okay, and the last item that I'm going to be using is this envelope. The reason I want the envelope, they usually come really nicely, but what I want to use is this piece of the envelope that has this design on it. I want that, and I'm going to be using this portion of the envelope to do stamping on, because I found that when you use different colors of white, like say you pull something from your stash, could be slightly different than the color here. So that's why I'm going to use the envelope. So we have all of those pieces, and I'm going to start with the gold. And what I want to do is I'm going to take this piece of gold, and I need to glue it onto this piece of photocopy paper. So I'm going to find a piece that is nicely flattened, and let's add a little bit of tape onto that. And I'm going to just lay it down. Now the reason I did that is because I'm going to be punching a circle out with that tissue paper, and I can't punch it unless I have something a little bit more solid behind it. So I'm going to get my punch, my circle punch, and I'm just going to pop that out. See, it punches out a lot easier. Oops, now it's stuck. With the piece of photocopy paper behind it. Now keep this paper because you can always use it for something else. Again, it will go in my little bin of items that I will be creating at the end of like 2 or 3 months before alternative kits. So I have this piece all punched out. See, it's all attached. Got all these pieces together. And what I want to do is I'm going to bring in my card base. Now yours, as I mentioned, look for the one with the gold dots on it. Okay, I didn't have any extra, so I have to go with what I have left over. And all I'm going to do is I'm going to fold this front in half, line it up with the fold inside. Oops. And burnish it with my bone folder. So it's a nice strong crease. So even though this is not the one that you have that you're going to be creating with, I think it's going to still add a really cool design to it. So this card is going to be a fancy fold, and what I want it to do, it's going to sit like this, but I want it to sit open with a piece on here. Now in the instructions there is, let's look. You can see the pieces that are in the instructions. So you can use this piece that is already comes on a sheet. You can use that one. Because I've already used them all up for the samples that I created, I'm going to be using the back of an envelope. It's the same kind of idea. See, it's got that kind of design on it. Same kind of idea here, but I'm going to be using this piece that is from the envelope. Also, when you look at the instructions, you can see all the pieces that come out, and they give you some ideas for alternatives to make with your card. So there, you can always do so much more than what the instructions say. Okay, so all I'm going to do is I'm going to cut off this piece of the envelope. Now, like I said, you can always use the piece that coordinates with this in your set. Okay, I'm just going to place it at, just going to line it up a little bit, and I'm just going to cut it. Okay, so there we go. So I have a little strip like that that is going to sit on the inside of the card, so it can always sit open. Now, because I've used the envelope, it does give kind of an interesting design. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to make it flush with the bottom, and I'm going to glue that straight down. Now, if you use the piece that is in the pop-out pack, that it will look just as nice. Just line it up so it's in the center. So there we go. What I want to do next is I'm going to take some pecan pie, which is the color I want, and in one of the stamps it says there's some sentiments in here, and what I want to do is I'm going to put a couple here. Because the word that we popped out is happy, I'm going to look for the sentiment that says birthday, and then there's another one that says you deserve the best. So I'm going to stamp those two pieces on the piece of envelope that I have. Okay. One reason I love Paper Pumpkin is the stamp sets that you get in there are always so fantastic. I keep them all. I print out what the sayings are and I place them in one of the little, I order those plastic boxes and place them in there. So I'm going to stamp that birthday. I'm going to put it back so I don't lose it. It's a little tiny, so don't want to lose it. Again, you're the best, or you deserve the best. Ink it up. And I'm just placing it on the envelope. You can always use basic white if you want, but I found that I prefer to use the items that come in the kit because I found a couple of the whites are just a little off. So let's cut that out and make those into little sentiment tags. Oops, that's just getting there. Okay. I'm going to pop that off. Now because I used the corner of the envelope, I'm actually going to use a glue dot and glue those two items together. Okay, get our glue dot where we can find it. I don't know, drat having short nails. It's hard to pick up things. Do you have short nails or do you prefer to have long nails? Comment below, I'm curious. I have short nails today, so I have a hard time gripping anything. Just going to glue those together. That one might need a couple of dots. And then for us to make sure that the sentiment sits up, we will add some dimensionals to that. There we go. And happy birthday, you deserve the best. So I'll have those set aside. Again with dimensionals. Now I'm going to have to use the small dimensionals because it is such a small sentiment. And because it's going to be used to hold the front open, I just want to make sure I use enough dimensionals that it's secure. The dimensionals will add a little bit of height and grab the front of the card. So birthday, there we go. And I can always make you deserve the best. I think I'm going to lay that flat because I have the one to hold the card open. And I'm going to do this one flat so it gives some depth to the card design. Okay. We're just going to add that and place it offset to the other word. So that's coming together for that part of the card. Now, what we're going to do is we're going to take, this will sit on the front, but what we want to do now is build our vase of leaves. Oops, look at them all. There's a whole bunch of beautiful vases, leaves in the vase. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to actually add a little bit of adhesive. I'm going to do 2 vases filled with flowers. Okay. And I'm just going to kind of, whoops, that one's attached. Put them together. There we go. And grab one of these ones that is green. Put it at the back. I'm going to bring it a little down a little bit and I'm going to cut the excess off. Oops. They're all sticking together. Okay. Got them stuck together. Now if you need to, you can always add a dimension, a glue dot. That one doesn't want to seem to sit very well. So let's add some glue and glue it down. There we go. I'm just going to cut off the excess stems so you don't see them. And I'm going to do that with the other vase I have here. There's the pink one. See, is this one? Yeah, I think it'll be okay. Add some glue. Again, I'm going to bring in the short one first and work towards the longer ones. And want that one. And then let's put these two together and fill it up with the solid green at the very back. Again, I need another piece of glue, so let's get a glue dot so we can add that last piece. There we go. Again, we're going to just snip off the pieces that hang over. There we go. Like that. And I'm going to bring in the card base. I'm going to stagger these two, one behind the other, like that. Or maybe I'll just use one. It kind of gets lost, don't you think? So maybe I'll just use one. Which one should I use? I think I'm going to use the pink one. I think I like the pink one. And I'm going to add glue dots on the back of that. So now that I have that one made, just because I'm not using it, I think I can use it somewhere else, either on this card or on another card design that I come up with. So I'm going to make sure that I'm gluing the portion that is going on the gold circle. Okay, I want to make sure that that's the part. So I'm going to glue it down onto the gold circle. There we go. Now we're going to glue the gold circle, but just make sure, because we're going to fold this card, you're going to be putting the glue that is on the portion that is only touching that card front. So this is going to be on the bottom. So on the bottom, on the card front. So don't glue the rest of it like that. Okay? And what I'm going to do now is we are going to place, so when it's closed, it's going to look like that. We're going to place the word happy on here. And again, we need to look at where can we place those little tiny dimensionals. Now, can we use dimensionals, or we might have to actually even cut them smaller to fit. So I'm looking for the fattest portion of the words where I can add these dimensionals to. Oop, that one wants to stay on the scissors. And I'm going to hide those behind. And because I'm cutting them and making them smaller, I want to make sure that I use lots of dimensionals to hold the words in place. Okay, we're getting there. This one wants to stay on the scissors. Again, looking for that fat part of the word. Can tuck it in. And all we're going to do is I'm going to place it on an angle across that. So when it's open, it sits like that. Here we go. So this is such a cool design. When it's closed, it will sit flat. Now I have this little piece left over. I wonder where I can use it, or if I can use it on the inside. And look at that. That is going to look fabulous on the inside. But if I close it like that, let's see. I can always tuck it under, or I can always make these pieces a little bit shorter. So let's do that, because I really like the idea of these guys being in the card. So I'm going to make this a little bit shorter. Got to take a look. Rework these guys. Add some more glue dots. sometimes when you're designing a card, things change and they may not turn out the way that you think, but that's okay. Keep going and it will turn out. There we go. And do we have enough glue hanging on there? There we go. Oh, that's looking so cool. And can we get this last guy on? I think that's okay. I'm just going to glue this guy with my glue dots to the inside of the card, which I think is going to look absolutely fantastic. I love these kits. When these kits first came out, I kind of ignored them, but recently I found that they are quite fun and I like doing different things with them. So I'm just going to add that to the inside, and so when it's closed you can't see that other one. Oh, look at that, it looks fantastic. Now if you have some embellishments, you can always add some embellishments. I think I'll leave the embellishments off. Oh, that looks great. So that lays flat and goes inside an envelope, so when they open it, oh, look at that, it looks so great on the inside, and it will just sit like that. So I'm going to show you my original card. There we go. This is the one, you know what, I think it looks fine just with that, either one. And this is the one with the polka dotted, and on the inside I use that piece that you pop out. So there's that one, there's that one, there we go, both done. Alternatives for the kit. Comment below what you think. Did you like this one? This is a very cool card. I really like this. Turned out awesome. Don't forget, use all the pieces of your kit and let's see what we can come up with. Until next time, I'll see you on Takeaway Tuesday.